What we come together to do this weekend is to look at our schools as they are and take the time to imagine what they can be. This year's theme is human-centered education. And for me, at this moment in time, as we all still are struggling through what does all of this mean now in the world in which we live, as we are now seeing tools do things that we used to do, and we figure out what does it mean to be in school anymore. We believe, and the journey we hope you all take with us this weekend, is that in this moment in time, the best thing schools can do is lean into what it means to be deeply human and figure out how we help kids achieve that. The goal remains the same. We want our kids to spend time in our schools understanding that they can and should and must be fully actualized, fully realized citizens of our world, able to take on the unbelievable challenges that we are leaving them with. If we do that, if we help them see themselves as active agents of change in our world, we will help them be the parents, the neighbors, the citizens, the scholars, the economic drivers that this world desperately needs, the problem solvers. And for me, that notion of being powerfully human in all that we are is what's going to help them get there. And that's my dream all the time, and that is, I think, for me, when I look at what people have done over the years at EduCon, when I listen to people who have come year after year, talk about the changes they have seen, that idea of the art of the possible, of the people we can be, of the schools we can be, is the dream of what we do here this weekend. So thank you for sharing your dreams, and thank you for being here. I'm going to make some housekeeping announcements really quickly. First off, American College of Education is here. They are doing a raffle, so make sure to sign up for the raffle because they're giving stuff away. We also have this year some really amazing sponsors who are here, and we're here not to be sort of the classic, all of them, not to be the sort of classic vendor hall, but to be here because you all are smart people, and they want to share with you, and they want to listen to you and work with you, and so I encourage you to go spend some time in the Commons and have a bagel and a cup of coffee and talk to some really cool people who are trying to make change in their lanes as well. If you put in for an Encienda conference today, you are approved. Congratulations. That will be in room 402 at lunch, and we've got like 7 or 8 folks who do lightning talks, which is going to be amazing. And then, so yeah, I talked about all that stuff. The last thing I need to do is say a lot of things. This conference happens, there is no paid staff, right? This conference happens and is planned every Monday afternoon, starting in August, when the EduCon committee gets together and plans. And then, as it gets closer and closer and closer, more and more and more of the SLA team helps make sure this happens. So the first thank you I need to give is to our incredible assistant principal, Kelly Schaaf. So if we can hear her. She first became a fan of SLA by coming to EduCon, like 15 years ago. And now she's our first year assistant principal. And very quickly learned that being assistant principal at SLA also means suddenly becoming a conference co-chair. Drink from the fire hose. The next folks I have to thank are all of our incredible parent volunteers, led by our homeschool president, Daphne, who is somewhere around here cutting bagels and making sure you all have everything you need. This is an amazing conference, because in addition to all of the work that allows us to kind of feed ourselves, it is a fundraiser for our school, and this is the amazing opportunity where we can raise money for our school without having to ask our parents for money. We just have to ask them to come in and cut bagels. So please, if you see us, like parent checking you in or making sure that the coffee is full, tell them thanks, because they are amazing and wonderful. The next folks to thank are all of the kids. This conference happens because of them. We have two conference co-chairs, Shahad Abdallah, who, if you were at ISTE last year, you saw her speak in front of an audience of 5,000 people. So this is small work for her. She's our senior co-chair. She is the person that when we rebooted last year after COVID, kind of helped us put this conference back together. And this year she's been an incredible mentor to Ozzy, our junior co-chair who spoke last night. And the two of them have put together the team of students who are checking codes, who are doing the filming, who are cutting bagels, who are running around, who are just here to help you have an amazing experience. And I think it's a really amazing thing for kids to get that. Again, when we talk about authentic real-world learning, these kids get to say, yeah, I'm an event planner. I ran a conference that hundreds of people came to. And literally, they run it far more than me. The last person I want to thank is a person who, in many ways, is more of the face of SLA than anybody else. He's given more tours of this school to prospective families, to educators from all over the world, and he is just always the person that if something needs to get done, he gets it done. Our partnership coordinator is Jeremy Spry, and he is probably back there. None of this happens without him. With that, it is now my incredible pleasure and honor to introduce a friend. Every year we have somebody from the district come and give this welcoming address because it is important that SLA is and always has been in and of the school district. We are, I think, proof that big districts can't innovate and do things differently. And to do that inside a massive district, which is not easy to move or change, you need champions. Tomas Hanna has been that champion when we started, and he was in the school district. He then left us to other places, went to New York City, where he was the chief talent officer. He was the superintendent of Coatesville. He has done everything there is to do in public education, in the cities, in suburbs. And then he's come back to us now as the associate superintendent for secondary schools. He is a champion of children. He is a champion of educators. And he is a deep believer that schools can innovate and do things better. There is nobody that I could want more to speak to you today than Tomas. So with that, Tomas.
So when budget time comes around, remember what you said first. You think I'm kidding? So one of the things I've started to do, good morning everyone, welcome to the city of Philadelphia. How many are Philadelphians? Good, okay, great. How many of you are not Philadelphians? You are today, beautiful. Welcome to the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, and we will be playing on Sunday, somewhere, I don't know. So what I've started to do is I've been back in the district just collecting stuff. So I've got to give a shout out to my friends at West Philadelphia High School. I should have break it. This is where we break into song, right? Yeah. Whatever. Okay, got it. So then I got to then take something. I'll take this off because I got a message. So please, we all know Twitter's dead. But please tweet Sharif al-Makki, my brother, in the work. This is what we've been talking about. This actually came as a result of young people saying, like, when you ask them, so what do these schools look like? We need black teachers. What should the experience be? We need black teachers. All of a sudden, it's on a t-shirt, right? So very, very important. I'm honored to be here. I was here a year ago. I think I was 2 weeks back into the gig in the district. I had about a 12-year hiatus from the school district, and I lost my hair and got a lot grayer. I do, as Chris said, have a deep history in this work, specifically here at SLA. It was in the early 2000s that Chris and I met. Paul Vallis, our superintendent at the time, gave me a challenge to help this young guy from New York City who had an idea to get a school started in a building at 22nd and Arch which was the human resources, right, Chris? The human resources building, right? And basically my role was to help them staff it and to scare him the hell out of here. Right? That was the issue. Don't think this is on stream, isn't it? Okay. So my job was to help Chris staff this idea with a bunch of edu-dreamers. That's like my thing, Chris, new t-shirt, right? Edu-dreamers. He constantly reminds me every day, Tomas didn't think we could pull this off. Tomas didn't think we could find educators who would do this stuff. And he isn't wrong. He's not wrong. Guilty as charged. Here's what I said to him, quote, "It's silly, man. You're bringing who from where to do what?" And frankly, with a little bit of jealousy, because that sparking, which is still there, that spark in his eyes, in my mind, I'm like, why not think of that? Right? Because it's Philly, man. Fast forward to 2012, my daughter Isabella, a freshman, announces one Saturday morning, because when they announce stuff on Saturday morning, you know when the thing's going to happen, right? Saturday morning, right? On Saturday morning, I'm volunteering at this thing called EduCon. Like, what con is this? And she's like, well, this is like Mr. Lieben started this conference at SLA. Where? At school. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Sound familiar, Chris? Right? Sound familiar, SLAites? Right? So here I am, the proud father of an SLA graduate, and I'm really glad Chris is here. Still here, right? Still here with us, because he could have gone and done anything, anywhere. And he's chosen to be here, to stay with us. His staff and his students are committed to excellence, no matter what shape it takes. At times it starts with a great idea. It may flop. SLA says, don't walk away. Figure it out, not by yourself. Right? Why does this work? It works because it starts with masterpieces. Our young people, students, are never alone here as they engage. They try to be alone. Don't let it happen. Right? There is something to be said about size. They might try to isolate and figure it out themselves, but they always come back to the end. A knowing, caring, and an SLA pushing adult with a lot of love. Maybe another classmate. Maybe a partner outside of the school with whom they engage on Wednesdays. Because you know, like their day is different every day. Do you know that? Starts at one time, and I still can't figure it. I could never know when to pick Isabella up. I had no idea what she was doing. But when all is said and done, the relationships are what drives outcomes here, period. What do you sign up for here when you come to EduCon? Well, actually, what do you sign up for the 3 SLAs? Because y'all had a chance to get to the building now. You know, there are 3 of them now, right? He has birthed 2 other children, right? As Chris, he made good on his commitment, because one of the things he said is, we're going to grow this, Tomas. We're going to grow this. And I said, wait, we haven't had, dude, because I said, dude, it's Philly. It's not New York City. We only have one of everything. Jose, you get that, right? Where's Jose?
Here.
Yeah, you get that, right? We only have one of everything.
I'm sorry.
Y'all have 2 of everything.
A few more than that, but anyway.
Right? Right? So we have the Eagles. We have the Sixers. We have the Flyers. Right? And we have the Phillies. Y'all have like that times 2. Right? Little jealousy there too, right? He saw firsthand. You all saw firsthand. You saw what was possible firsthand. You knew it. You all have seen it as you've come here in our schools at SLA Beaver and at West Philadelphia. See there, right? Went into a school and took it over. Right? By the way, the coolest named school in the district, Slams. Where is it? There he is in the back, Slams. SLA Middle School. Who does that? And Tim, my bad. You know exactly what I'm talking about. right? We sign up for these things, these guiding principles. Our schools must be equity-driven, thoughtful, I took this off the website, I'm not that smart, right? Thoughtful and empowering for all members. This is the axioms. Our schools must be about co-creating, you're not alone. Do this work. Technology must serve the pedagogy, not the other way around. This is when big districts say the budget office is not going to run classrooms. And we're failing miserably at that in big city school districts, but that's not what we're here for. Technology must enable students to create, communicate, and collaborate, and learning, it must be networked. The theme of this familial gathering, and it is a familial gathering, is human-centered schools. So, popcorn this up. What does that mean to you? Relationships. What is it? Trust. Student-centered. What is, well, you just said that. What does it mean in our schools? Here's what AI says. Like that transition? Not yet, Tim. AI says, quote, the human-centered design principles involve putting the needs and experiences of people at the forefront of the design process. They include collaboration, empathy, iteration. None of y'all said, well, you said working together, right? Somebody said. And focus on the user experience. I think you guys were better. Your definition was better, right? This was AI, right? This was Mr. Google, Dr. Google. So my charge this morning is crystal clear. Be out of here in the next 6 minutes. Key you up for a day of learning from one another. I'm doing what a professor of mine used to do when I was in Puerto Rico. Just wait. Y seguimos. Okay. And given how we are trying to figure out this work, as Chris said, post-pandemic, while we may think we're past the crisis, I don't think we feel that we got back to what it was. I would argue many of us don't think we ever wanted to go back to the way it was. We've got to figure that out. I'm not so sure most spaces were empathetic, were collaborative, iterative, focused on the user experience, the users being young people, and the adults who serve them, and the families who serve them, and the communities who serve them. Right? It's not just like the four walls, the fortress of our building. My gut says, though, you are here again. How many of you are repeat offenders? Very good, very good. How many of you are newbies? And next year you will be repeat offenders, right? What was that?
That sounds so crazy.
I'm sorry. So here's, like in our innovation schools, I actually have the juvenile justice system, so now you know where my head is. We want to avoid recidivism. Here, we encourage it. Like that? Is that better? Oh, it's great. Ooh, got out of that one. Kick save. SLA Beaver, SLA Center City, and say it, slams housing in the district. Should serve, I'm going to say should serve, Chris, should serve as the linchpin of our shining stars in this district. I'm not so sure that we do, and this is the right from 440 is our central office. I'm not so sure we're doing this work with justice. How many of you teach in the school district of Philadelphia, not SLA, not SLA Beaver, not? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All due respect, that's a problem. But that we'll deal with it, right? And we recognize that. Chris and I have a comment. One, get off of Twitter, okay, right? And then figure out like how can we become a prophet in our own land. But I'll stop with that. We're honored here to share the learnings, not just SLA's learnings, but y'all's learnings, right? Your learning. The theme again, human-centered schools. Chris reminded me that the powerful thing for us to do today is to come together and engage one another in safe and brave spaces. I feel this is a safe and brave space. I'm not so sure when I go to work Monday through Friday, 16, however many hours, then it is a safe space. So we have to make it a brave space. I think this is a safe and brave space, right? In my opinion. I think we're getting there. I don't think we're there yet. This is a place where we can learn that. So how are we gonna do this work? First, we're gonna share what we're doing back home, wherever home is. We're gonna learn about our spaces, test out what we're thinking about in our, here they come the acronyms, PLCs. What are those, PLCs? Yeah, I'm insulting you, right? COPs, not those guys, right? Our communities of practice, right? And share and learn from those ideas that have flourished and what it took them to flourish and what's left on the cutting room floor. Because there's a lot of learning. People make movies off of what's left on the cutting room floor, right? That's first. Second, I'm thrilled that there's so many opportunities, and I counted them on the row, 43, right, opportunities over the next 2 days that will expose you to innovative ways to drive human-centered practices in which we not only put the needs of our young people first, but also the needs of the educators doing the work. What was that? What was that? That was cool.
We're one of those 43.
I love it, right? See, I'm like, be careful, because I will catch you and call you out, right? That's called engagement, right? Sorry. So let's take a quick stroll. Chris, never again, right? Let's take a quick stroll. So you do these things so you don't get caught back. For what awaits you here at EduCon, and I've taken the liberty of taking a look at all the session highlights. Right, so, just going to do a word jumble, word scramble. Here's what I've learned. Empathetic, weaving wellness and building bonds, building social emotionals, personalized. Let's see, strong relationships. How do we fortify students' confidence, self-advocacy, reflectiveness, developing a sense of place and purpose. Using neighborhoods as classrooms and texts, educators as advocates, playful and comprehensive exploration. When's the last time you said, I want to work to play with my kids? Ooh, don't say it, right? You did? Excellent. Who else? That's a problem, right? Think about that, right? Thank you. Sorry, right? The generative age and AI, we're going to talk about AI in a minute. Playful, we talk about playful. Join elementary school teacher, high school student, and college student to consider the strengths of teachers. Student, college, teacher come together to talk about, guess what? Teaching. Ask the big questions. Consider street data. Last page. I want to try to acknowledge everyone in the room. Spirit, circle of power and respect. Thank you. Changing classroom culture. South Bronx, right? There you go. Not South Bronx.
Oh, no, sorry, I was listening to the thing.
South Bronx, I'm here. Yes. Always present South Bronx. Always in the house. Fleeing the profession. People are leaving. Not everyone's leaving. Why are they staying? Let's have that conversation. Right? I love this one. Bonfires of innovation and spirits of upstart culture thriving in the face of constant pushback. I want to go to that one. Matching personality types. When I grow up, I would ask that we also, in addition to that, and it's in here, right? What are the students' areas of interest, right? With regard to their potential. So I would ask young people now, I do that when I go to buildings. Dave, what are you passionate about? Somebody. Okay. CTE, right? So young Dave would say, using my hands, building something, creating something, right? What are you passionate about, right? And the next question, Dave, is how do you want to make the world a better place? I stole it from Jamie. We know I stole this from Jamie, right? How do we want to make this a better place?
Giving young people opportunities.
So I want to be able to help young people create, right? Because that's what I'm passionate about, because I want to create. That's my Jimmy Jam, right? But I also want to ensure that that is multiplied over and over and over again. And wouldn't it be great, little Dave, if you were paid for that passion and for that excitement and for that desire to change the world, right? That's, for me, I'm asking our young people all the time, and they look at you and you say, what are you passionate about? I want to be a, that's not what I asked you. Because they're expecting the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? I have no clue. But what are you passionate about? What do you love to do? How do you want to save the world, change the world? And what do you want to get paid for it? Match those together, I bet you we have kids' interests, what their potential is, and then how do we guide them to that place? Right? I hope. That's what I hope. So as I wrap up here, I'm 2 minutes over. I would like for you, there's a whole bunch of people doing this work. There's one that's going to write a song, queering the classrooms, queering, right? Acceptance, what does that look like? Space, place of belonging. So I will share with you that there you have it. Today and tomorrow, at a glance. There's an opportunity here for everyone. There's an opportunity to engage. There's an opportunity to question. There's an opportunity to build upon. There's an opportunity to, when you leave here, be able to do something Monday. Because I come to these things and I'm like, what about Monday? What's that going to look like? Right? Interesting thing. You're sharing the space today with about 200 young people upstairs who have made a decision to sort of get their lives back together in school. So we got Saturday school upstairs with kids who don't want to be here, but understand that, right? So understand that space. So I think it's really interesting that the innovators, at some point, the work you do will help us as a district figure out so that doesn't have to happen. Right? Lost my place. Kids are in Saturday school, because those young people deserve a system that meets them where they're at. And we are meeting them where they're at. They're behind, and they're coming to school on Saturday. Doesn't that suck? Horrible. So what are we doing differently? K-8, middle school, standalone, and high schools. What does that look like? This is a concept, meet them where they're at, that Chris envisioned many years ago and has executed in a way no one thought possible. Because, dude, it's Philly. And guess what, dudes and dudettes? It's EduCon. And the one thing I gotta not let go is the one title that I missed was, let's see, where is it here? Tim, I told you I was gonna do this to you. We're talking about practice. The old AI. All right, New York, you get it, right?
AI, I don't know, this is the only AI I recognize, so sure.
Y'all get it? The only AI we trust around here is little guy, Alan Anderson. Right? That's how we trust. So, Tim, I totally blew your, I'm sorry. We'll talk together. So, on behalf of our superintendent, because you thought I'd leave that out, right? On behalf of our superintendent, Dr. Tony Watlington, our deputy superintendent of academics, Jermaine Dawson, our board of education, and the first African-American female in 100 years to serve as mayor, Mayor Sherelle Parker, I welcome you to EduCon. I welcome you to Philadelphia. Go out there, enjoy yourselves, have a great convening, and be repeat offenders, people. Appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tomas. Session 1 is about to start in about 10 minutes, but I did want to make one quick announcement. Somebody lost something. I don't know how to say this without tantalizing you, but if you know how much that something may be, I have it in my pocket, and I will return it to you if it's not there. So enjoy the rest of the day. Take care.